This boy, Tanaka, is known as the laziest student in the whole school. He's so lazy, his best friend has to carry him to class, and he never finishes a full message. Even teachers don't bother him because it takes hours for him to do anything. After class, his best friend Ōhta comes to Tanaka and asks him to at least take out his textbook from the bag. When he sees Tanaka is not moving and starts trembling, he touches his arm and realizes his limbs have fallen asleep. After class, Tanaka tells Ōhta that it happens to him a lot. When he falls asleep with his face down, his arm gets numb. When he tries to lean against the window, his eyes miscalculate the distance and he hits his head with all his strength. If he rests his chin on his hand, eventually it becomes quite difficult to hold and his joints start to pain. So hearing all these things, Ōhta realized that for Tanaka being listless is rather risky. Later at gym class, Ōhta noticed that Tanaka is unexpectedly motivated for the exercise. Tanaka tells him that actually he wants to exercise because he wants a body where no matter how listless he becomes, his limbs don't get numb and painful. So today, he is going to work hard, exercising so he can be listless all he wants. First, the class does some warm-up exercises, but after the second rep, Tanaka's back starts to hurt. After 2 more reps, his arms start to hurt, so he decides to take a break and inhales the fresh breath. After warming up, their class is assigned to play badminton. Tanaka and Ōhta make a team and play against their friend. Ōhta plays aggressively, and seeing his game, Tanaka tries to do the same strike. But because of his loose grip, the racket actually slips, and both their friends see their life flashing before their eyes. So they instantly drag Tanaka to take a break. Even against 2, Ōhta is stronger, and Tanaka just watches them. Tanaka thinks that as Ōhta is on the same team, maybe Ōhta's enthusiasm will reflect on his grade, and he will also get good grades in the exercise. Suddenly, he gets an idea with the shuttlecock. Meanwhile, Ōhta accidentally hits a shuttlecock so hard that it flies out of the gym. So temporarily, they decide to take one from the boxes. When they see the box is empty, Ōhta tells them that actually, Tanaka uses them on his head, which makes him so relaxed that he falls asleep. Seeing Tanaka sleeping so relaxed, they decide to take the one which got out instead of waking up Tanaka. One day, Ōhta sees that Tanaka is resting as usual, but not in his regular pose. This time, he uses his second hand to support his chin, so Ōhta asks Tanaka if anything's wrong. While they're talking, one of their friends calls Tanaka to help him carry the printouts to the staff room. Tanaka stands up with the same pose, and Ōhta reminds him that his hands are glued to his face. Tanaka goes to help and lifts one corner of the paper bundle his friend is carrying. His friend tells Tanaka that he actually needs to carry the ones over there, but Tanaka tells him that he just literally said, "Help me." So, after all, Ōhta decides to help him. After giving the papers, they go to drink water, and Tanaka just gets his face washed by the water. Ōhta realizes that Tanaka seems a bit different today, but as a friend, he decides to support his individuality. During lunch break, Ōhta tries to give lunch to Tanaka, but he refuses. However, his stomach growls, and Ōhta assists him to take at least one bite, but Tanaka still refuses. Later in music class, Tanaka starts to play the piano while the whole class sings. The class begins, and soon, Tanaka's music turns into a gloomy nightmare. Ōhta tells everyone that Tanaka is in the middle of his peak listlessness. The teacher goes to Tanaka to ask him to go back to his seat. While waking him up, she notices something on his cheek, and when she approaches him, Tanaka suddenly screams like a snake. The teacher gets shocked, and she instantly apologizes to him. Later, Ōhta gets worried and seeks consultation with each other. One of them finally concludes that Tanaka may be in love. After school, Ōhta goes to Tanaka and finds him sitting on his seat looking sad. In his inner thoughts, Ōhta apologizes to Tanaka that being his best friend, he didn't notice it early. When he goes to take him to treat him to ice cream, Tanaka suddenly trips over his bag and all his notes fall out from his book. He finds a book with a lot of reminder notes in it that he should go to the dentist after school. Now Ōhta realizes that all day, Tanaka was doing strange things because he has a cavity, so he grabs him in his usual bro style and takes him to the dentist. After the treatment, Tanaka is irritated. Ōhta asks Tanaka if he is in love right now, but he instantly tells him no. The next day while going to class, someone shouts that they want to be his apprentice. When both Tanaka and Ōhta look back, they see no one and suddenly notice a short girl is jumping to get their attention. When they notice her, she asks Tanaka with a lot of admiration that she wants to be his apprentice. Tanaka asks her who she is, and she tells him she is Miyano from the same class, so Tanaka instantly rejects her request. As Tanaka was straight to the point, Miyano also just ignores his answer and requests him that she wants to be listless and become an adult-like woman, so she wants to be his apprentice and asks him to take care. As you can see, it feels like today will be the most bothersome day in Tanaka's school life. Tanaka tries to do a soft curveball in the refusal and tells her to give up as he's not taking any apprentice or anything. While Miyano does a wild pitch, she tells him it's not a problem for her because no matter how hard the discipline is, she can handle it. So Tanaka decides to give a stronger straight pitch and tells her that he doesn't need any new development in his peaceful, normal daily life. And in other words, he doesn't want to get involved with a new character. Miyano tells him that she will just act like his old friend he just met, so this way she will not be a new character. Ōhta also requests Miyano to give up, but Tanaka stops him and tells him him if it's just for one day, let her do as she likes. Ōhta gets touched by heart with these words, as even though Tanaka hates having his peace broken, he still uses a mature way of dealing with it. But in reality, Tanaka was thinking that refusing this person seems to require even more effort. Meanwhile, Miyano celebrates her victory. Tanaka tells her that actually, even if she is a pretend apprentice, he doesn't really have anything to teach her. Basically, Tanaka is just leaving her alone and asks her to casually do her own research and learn from that. Miyano agrees and tells him she will work hard, but Tanaka tells her that actually, in laziness, she should not try hard or do anything harder, and Miyano tries her best by not trying hard. During class, Miyano stared at Tanaka because she got his permission and wants to observe him. First, she assumes that her eyes should look sleepy. As Miyano is sitting at the front desk, the teacher gets scared by her death glare, so she herself realizes she actually failed her first step. Next, she sees that she has to relax her entire body, but she gets too relaxed, just like a cold and dead person, and the teacher sends her to the nurse's office. Later, Ōhta shows Tanaka a coupon for a donut shop. Meanwhile, Miyano is still observing Tanaka, and this time, she actually discovers a new technique. She will become a quiet woman. But suddenly, she hears Ōhta, and since the coupon requires 3 people, Ōhta asks Miyano if she wants to go with them. Miyano totally wants to go, but she doesn't want to show excitement and decides to answer coldly, so she agrees to go with them, but with a drooling mouth and a wagging, faithful tail. It simply means she actually failed again. During break time, Miyano sees Tanaka buying a green tea. She herself likes strawberry milk, but thinks that an adult-like person would not drink something so childish, so she decides to take the green tea. Ōhta compliments her and takes strawberry milk for himself, which shocks Miyano, and she starts crying. So Ōhta takes Miyano to Tanaka and tells him that she is crying because she picked the green tea, since she doesn't have her favorite strawberry milk. This shocks Tanaka, so they decide to act, and Tanaka drinks the strawberry milk to show Miyano that he also likes strawberry milk. Seeing Tanaka drinking strawberry milk soullessly, Miyano gets shocked and runs away as she thinks about it. Later, she gets sad and thinks maybe she doesn't have any talent for being a lazy person. But this time, she decides to show Tanaka that she actually can become a lazy person. She does all the research in the library, and after school, she gives Tanaka a full report on listlessness. But Tanaka only reads the first page and tells Miyano that actually, she is not made for being listless. The reason is that she is actually a hard worker, because Tanaka would never go to such effort of making a report. This actually shocks and saddens Miyano, as even from the very start, there is no chance for her to be a pro like Tanaka. But to comfort her, Tanaka tells her that being a hard worker is actually a good point of hers, and she does not need to purposely try to be like him. So finally, Miyano tells him that actually there is someone she likes, and she wants to be a good match with him. So even if she is shocked on the outside, she wants to be adult-like inside. But when Tanaka asks her if the person is unsatisfied with how Miyano looks or is, she tells him that is not the reason he is a good person. Tanaka tells her that there is no reason for her to change or try so hard to change if that person accepts her. And Tanaka gives her perfect advice that even if she stands on her tippy toes, her real height will probably be found out within 3 seconds. So it is better for her to approach him life-size from the start, even if it means being rejected. Ōhta stops Tanaka for saying these things. Later, all 3 of them go to the donut shop. The next day, Tanaka and Ōhta are almost late for class. They run at their maximum speed, and just as they reach their destination, they crash. It was actually the wall they ran into. They were also about to crash into Shiraishi, but Ōhta barely dodged it. When Tanaka asks Ōhta if he knows the girl, Ōhta tells him that she is actually the class president of their class. Just then, the rugby club members catch Tanaka and Ōhta because they just bumped into their goddess. Shiraishi stops them and touches one of them as they were stepping on the paper she was holding. Getting touched by Shiraishi, they all instantly run away from shyness. Shiraishi collects all the worn-out papers, and Ōhta offers to help her. Shiraishi tells him that it's not his fault and not to worry about it, but Tanaka says that she's actually their savior. She just saved their lives from the beasts, as she can dispel all those beasts with a single touch. Tanaka and Ōhta think of themselves as even more useless than water fleas. Hearing their exaggerated talk, Shiraishi lets them help her. While going to the copy room, they all notice that Shiraishi is actually famous in the school. Meanwhile, Tanaka puts a jacket over himself because he doesn't like being noticed. Actually, Tanaka doesn't like being scared. In the copy room, Ōhta notices a mistake in the document and tells Shiraishi about it. Shiraishi says that now they need to check all of them and then reprint them. She uses a PC, and Ōhta is surprised, saying he only uses it to search the internet, and compliments Shiraishi for knowing how to make things useful for everyday use. Tanaka tells both of them that he also knows a good way to use a PC, and thinks it's super useful in today's dangerous society. Both get really surprised, and it turns out that Tanaka actually means you can use a laptop as bulletproof. But Ōhta tells him that it's not a good way. Instead, maybe the most offensive use for the PC. Shiraishi now tells them the next process. They will need to print 20 pages, stack them, order them, and staple them. Meanwhile, Tanaka feels the warmth of the freshly printed paper and thinks it can be used perfectly as a pillow. Shiraishi decides to stack them, and Ōhta takes the role of checking them. After some imagination, Tanaka requests to be a paperweight, so they assign him the role of stapling papers. After some time, Shiraishi offers them some macarons she made. Both Tanaka and Ōhta eat some and compliment her cooking. After working for a while, Tanaka starts to doze off. Ōhta tries to wake him up, but he gets too sleepy and is about to lose consciousness because he ate snacks. Shiraishi tells them that they both can leave, as there is just a little bit left and she can handle it herself alone. Also, Tanaka is already at his limit. Ōhta gets surprised by Shiraishi, and he compliments her, saying that she is thoughtful and can make homemade macarons, that she has a sense of responsibility, and again, that she can make homemade macarons. He respects her and repeats that she can make macarons. Shiraishi realizes that in Ōhta's eyes, she is now just a macaron person. So Ōhta takes Tanaka with him and excuses themselves for today. Just as both leave, Shiraishi gets relieved. She removes her contacts, lowers her skirt, ties her hair normally, and actually, this is how Shiraishi really looks. In middle school, Shiraishi had no friends, and people thought she was boring and serious. When she started high school, she tried hard to look cute and trendy and became popular right away. But she feels uncomfortable because her contacts hurt her eyes, and her new look makes her anxious. When she is alone, she goes back to wearing glasses and tying her hair up simply, because she feels relief. She is glad because Tanaka and Ōhta leave early so she can drop her act. She worries that if her real self is discovered, her high school life will be ruined. She tries to relax alone, but Tanaka and Ōhta come back suddenly and see her natural look. The next morning, she worries that her classmates may know about it and imagines everyone will be gossiping that she is not trendy and feels lonely again. When her friends call her name, she panics and feels exposed, but tries to greet her classmates with a smile, even though she is nervous. Both her friends comment that she looks pretty. Shiraishi feels relieved because nobody seems to notice her secret. She also greets Tanaka and Ōhta with a sparkling face, but is startled when Tanaka asks if she is always shining like that even when she is alone. She worries that they might reveal her secret and decides to watch them carefully all day. One friend asks Tanaka and Ōhta about helping Shiraishi after school and says she is amazing and wants a wife like her, but Tanaka tells if he is getting a wife, it would be Ōhta since Ōhta can carry him. In chemistry class, Tanaka warns Ōhta about his hair coming close to chemicals and tells him to fix his antenna-like hair. Ōhta agrees. Shiraishi feels that they are making fun of her. All day, she follows Tanaka and Ōhta to make sure they do not say anything about her secret. She even follows them to the washroom until Tanaka tells her it's not a good idea. At lunch, she is tired and relieved the day is half over. The boys talk about what happened the previous day, but Ōhta explains that Shiraishi had already left the room when he came back, so her secret is safe. Her friends praise her for being quick and amazing. She feels happy and relieved that her secret is not discovered. Later in the girls' washroom, Shiraishi looks at herself in the mirror and realizes how different she looks in different outfits. Suddenly, she gets an idea that she should have just become a completely different person from the start. To test this, she decides to walk past the two friends of Ōhta and Tanaka, who are named Kato and Shimura. Nervous, she passes by both of them, and they both beautifully ignore her, which makes her happy because they weren't able to tell who she was. She gets too excited and starts happily jumping like a rabbit in the hallway, but now she is feeling too uneasy and passes by Tanaka and Ōhta in the hall. Suddenly, Tanaka calls her name, and she instantly replies in shock. Just 5 seconds after having the greatest idea, she gets busted and is shocked at how he is able to tell. After that, she confesses everything to them, explaining that the popular Shiraishi in the class is her ideal side because she worked so hard to create it, but the real her is this plain, boring, and friendless person. She says that the popular Shiraishi was created because she wanted to shine, even though it's tiring for her. She allows both of them to laugh as much as they want, but Tanaka tells her that she is actually too erotic, which instantly shocks Shiraishi and Ōhta. But Tanaka corrects himself, saying he meant to say she is too admirable, as both words are very similar in Japanese. Tanaka tells her that she is not only working hard for herself, but is also working to give something to other people. Tanaka opens up about his own laziness and how he always makes zero contribution to society and says that she is completely opposite of that. Tanaka also admits that while he thinks being like that is the best and being lazy is his only mission in life, he encourages Shiraishi to believe in herself more. This makes Shiraishi happy and she thanks both of them, but before leaving, she asks them to keep this secret from others. Both agree, but they also tell her that even if they told someone, no one would believe them. While leaving, Tanaka also tells Shiraishi that he's kind of relieved that even the shining Shiraishi had her own weakness, because something too bright would be blinding and he wouldn't be able to approach it. The next day, Shiraishi comes to school without her contacts, wearing glasses. No one makes fun of her or notices any changes. In fact, her friends sympathize with her as contacts hurt her eyes. Meanwhile, Shiraishi wonders how only Tanaka was able to tell who she was, and Ōhta also asks the same thing to Tanaka, who tells him that if her looks can deceive him, her Jingle Bell's eyes can't. And Ōhta advises him to never say that in front of Shiraishi. One day during lunch break, Ōhta and Tanaka eat their lunch on the rooftop. Suddenly, someone opens the door and enters the roof. A girl asks Tanaka to have a duel with her, and Tanaka instantly asks Ōhta to switch sides with him. But Ōhta actually recognizes the girl, and she also recognizes Ōhta. When Tanaka asks both of them if they know each other, the girl says that back in the days they both used to be in the same gang. But Ōhta tells Tanaka that she is actually his neighbor and childhood friend, whose name is Echizen, but her nickname is Echin, and they've been friends since kindergarten. Being called Echin, she instantly gets angry and asks Ōhta to stop calling her that. Tanaka finally thinks that she does not seem to be a bad person at least. So Tanaka asks her why she wants to have a duel with him, but she doesn't really reveal her true reason and tells him that actually, you gotta make sure what kind of guy he is. Tanaka hears her reasons and tells her that actually it won't come to any battle, so it's better she just gives up. When Iken asks the reason, Tanaka tells her that he is totally confident that no matter what kind of match, he will probably lose miserably and he does not have any motivation. Iken actually starts pitying Tanaka and asks him to at least try a bit harder and tries to convince him to play an Othello or card game. So they decide to first play Othello, which is a game with some black and white buttons. After playing, Iken actually wins the match and makes fun of Tanaka. But Tanaka tells her that he is satisfied, which surprises Iken, even though he loses, why he is satisfied. Then realizes he actually wrote white with his white buttons in Japanese. This also impresses Ōhta, and Iken feels defeated even though she won the match. She starts to think that Tanaka might actually be quite capable, and just then her stomach growls. So Ōhta gives her something to eat, which turns out to be a bunny-shaped chocolate cream bread. Iken instantly gets angry and scolds Ōhta, asking if he is making fun of her, as there is no way she's going to eat something like that. Her reason for not eating it is that the shape of a rabbit is too cute, and only a demon like Ōhta could eat it. So, having no other choice, she decides to move on to cards while hungry. Tanaka shuffles the cards, which impresses both Ōhta and Shiraishi. When he does a different type of shuffle, suddenly a strong wind blows all the cards, and they all have to collect the cards. While collecting cards, Ōhta and Tanaka see that Iken is stumbling and staggering because of her long skirt. Tanaka suggests that she shorten the skirt, which angers Iken, as this is her identity. Ōhta tells her that it's okay to be fashionable, like the new trend girls with the maxi skirt, but she should be careful. This angers Iken even more because this long skirt is actually her respect for female gang leaders. After collecting all the cards, all three of them notice that there is one card missing. Iken gets irritated by this because when they played Othello, the objective totally changed, and now Tanaka has lost a card before they can even start. Her precious friend told her that she respects Tanaka, so Iken thought he might be a man of spirit. But her imagination shatters because Tanaka is just a shabby, lazy loser. She tries to wake Tanaka, trying to motivate him, and gets angry that her friend said she wanted to be like him. She believes if her friend gets influenced by him, she will definitely become a coward. But Tanaka tells her that he didn't do anything, and he also doesn't remember doing anything to be respected by a delinquent. Just then, Miyano comes to the roof and greets Tanaka. Seeing Miyano, Iken instantly switches to his soft side and starts to swing Miyano around. Both Tanaka and Ōhta get surprised, seeing that Iken's friend is actually Miyano. Afterward, when Ōhta asks Miyano if she was looking for Iken, she tells him that she actually followed Iken's smell and ended up on the roof. Tanaka tells Iken that if it's Miyano, she does not need to be worried, as Miyano has zero capability of being a lazy person. Iken also agrees, as it's true that Miyano is a hard worker unlike Tanaka, and there is no way she would be influenced by him. But then she actually chokes Tanaka for calling Miyano zero capability, and expels marks as these are offensive for her according to Iken. When Miyano asks them what they were doing, Iken tells her that she was having a match with Tanaka. Iken says Tanaka has really sucked at everything, and there is no point even talking about it, and that he wasn't meant to be her opponent. But as Miyano has too much respect for Tanaka, she tells Iken that it is not true, and Tanaka is amazing. In reality, she hasn't seen Tanaka's full power. This angers Iken, as she thinks Tanaka was just looking down on her and was not being serious, while Tanaka actually regrets not refusing Miyano from being his apprentice at that time. One day, Tanaka sees a reminder on his phone about dropping by a supermarket. He asks Ōhta to go with him to the supermarket after school. After school, Ōhta tells him that if it's about the bag, he can totally leave that to him. But Tanaka tells him that he actually wants help remembering what it is he needs to buy, because he cannot remember it at all. While thinking, Tanaka remembers that his younger sister last night asked him to buy something for her. Ōhta gets surprised that Tanaka actually has a little sister, and he tells Tanaka that he also has a younger sister who is in the 3rd grade of middle school. Tanaka imagines Ōhta's little sister as exactly a copy of him, just with a middle schooler's uniform, and he he pities her that she has to be born as a girl. Tanaka then says his own sister is also in the 3rd year of middle school. Tanaka says that his sister resembles him too much, both in face and attitude. As their mother tends to be away from home, he and his sister stay home together and get along very well. Ōhta assumes that with no one watching and both Tanaka and his sister exactly resembling each other, the whole house chores must be left undone. Ōhta asks if Tanaka eats everything properly, and Tanaka tells him he shouldn't think of others as a garbage dump. Later at the supermarket, Tanaka tells him that even though his sister looks exactly like him, her personality is really a level ahead of his. As for what he needs to buy, Tanaka can't really remember. He takes a cart and tells Ōhta they should walk around the store so maybe he will remember something. Tanaka stands at the weak side playing a game and tries to remember what his sister asked for. Ōhta tries to show Tanaka different things so he can remember whether at least it's food or a daily necessity. Tanaka assumes that his sister definitely wouldn't ask him for anything frozen because she knew he doesn't walk fast and wouldn't be able to bring it home without it melting. And it's the same for water and rice, as Tanaka cannot lift heavy weights. Ōhta shows Tanaka different things like chicken and tells him the whole biography of chicken breast compared to other parts of the chicken. The women around them get impressed by Ōhta, thinking he is very careful. Ōhta even easily grabs the tissue roll from the shelf, and all the women in the mart start to admire Ōhta for being like a household husband. Meanwhile, Tanaka actually gets irritated by this because Ōhta is like the only wife to him, and now the other women want a child like him at their house, so the competition is increasing for Tanaka. It's even higher than his expectations. Suddenly, Tanaka remembers that he actually set another reminder in a different way so that he would not forget, but it turned out that he only wrote the letter P, and this makes the mystery thicker. It seems like Tanaka got exhausted in the middle of typing and only managed to type P. After wandering around for some time, they still don't find what they were looking for, so Tanaka decides to use his ultimate incantation to tell his sister that what she asked him to buy is actually sold out. Finding everything with the letter P is also exhausting for Tanaka, so he suggests buying everything that starts with P but isn't heavy and doesn't rot easily, although all the items actually become pretty heavy, but fortunately he had Ōhta with him. So in the end, they collect and buy a few items that start with P and don't rot easily. When they come out of the store, they see a pancake stall. Ōhta gets excited and wants to eat something, and suddenly they notice all the puzzles being solved. The pancake stall is near Tanaka's high school, and his sister purposely asked him to buy something even though she knows he is the laziest person. Tanaka had set a reminder with P, and it's the last day of the sale. It clicks for both of them that it must be pancakes, as it's the last day they are selling in front of the supermarket. So they both buy pancakes, Tanaka thanks Ōhta, and they both go to their homes. The next day, Ōhta enters the class, and everyone notices something is filling the room with a smell. Ōhta asks Tanaka if his sister was delighted last night, but suddenly he gets a weird smell, and Tanaka tells him what his sister told him. His sister actually didn't ask for pancakes or anything like that. It was a pipe cleaner for the drains. And since Tanaka bought too many things, his sister made a special dish for him with each and everything he brought. Echizen keeps staring at both Tanaka and Ōhta during school, as Tanaka's confession keeps coming to her mind, and she gets confused because she could not get that matter off her mind ever since then, and gets unsure about whom she should choose. She even starts to see both of them in a different light. When they both notice her looking, Tanaka instantly declares that he is not going to get in any fight, as fighting or challenging in Tanaka Kingdom is banned now. Echizen tells them that she will not fight again like how she used to. She says she is a girl, and both Tanaka and Ōhta get surprised that she has just turned over a new leaf. Echizen feels embarrassed and instantly runs away. Later, she thinks about both of their personalities. As for Ōhta, he is kind, reliable, and properly treats her like a girl, but this embarrasses her, and she will most likely tell him not to treat her like a girl. As for Tanaka, who has no motivation, is unreliable, unsociable, and much less treats her like a girl, she will definitely get seriously angry and hates that he doesn't treat her more like a woman. At last, she comes to the conclusion that maybe she should just have a cutout skirt and act more like a woman, but Miyano stops her. Seeing Miyano, she realizes that if her last name were to change, she would have to call herself by something else. So she asks Miyano if her name became Tanaka or Ōhta, what would she call her? Miyano thinks about it and says she would call her Ochan, a mix of all three names. Suddenly, they notice Tanaka. They talk a little, and Echizen asks Tanaka if she were as small as Miyano, would that be nice? But Miyano rejects the idea and tells her that she is strong and wonderful as she is. Tanaka also agrees with her, which makes Echizen happy. Later, while walking down the hallway thinking about Tanaka's compliment, Echizen is about to fall because of her skirt, but suddenly, Ōhta saves her from falling. Echizen feels better, but instantly dashes off and falls from the stairs. Ōhta tries to help her, but she refuses, so Ōhta instantly carries her anyway. But she gets embarrassed and throws a tantrum which causes her to fall on the ground. Echizen gives up and tells both of them that they were the ones who asked her to call herself Ōhta or Tanaka. Ōhta gets shocked as he never said something like that and starts to ask Echizen about the reason. While they both argue, Tanaka remembers about the Ōhta or Tanaka thing and pulls out the notebook to show show Echizen if she is talking about the previous conversation. So, to clear the misunderstanding, Tanaka tells Echizen that the letter count was too high and he was too sluggish to write the entire thing, and he ends up unintentionally insulting Echizen's name and apologizes to her. Echizen instantly realizes that it was all her own misunderstanding. After getting beaten up by Echizen, Tanaka gets an idea and tells Ōhta to call Echizen by a shorter name without changing it, and both decide on calling her Echin, which makes Echizen embarrassed and blush. One day in school, Tanaka goes to the toilet to wash his hands, and when he returns to class, he sees a chocolate in his bag. Ōhta hears some girls talking in the class about giving chocolate to her crush. Considering the packaging and the date, Ōhta assumes it is Valentine's chocolate, and Tanaka instantly backs away about 10 feet from the chocolate because he does not want to receive something like a chocolate from a girl. In a few minutes, they realize what had just happened before they look at the chocolate. Even if Tanaka were to receive chocolate, he would have preferred it from a girl with not a large presence. Tanaka tells Ōhta that, actually, he was a champion. Back in middle school, he was voted by all 30 students as the champion of the least likely boy to return a gift on White Day. Ōhta tells him that he should at least redeem it since he got some chocolate. Then, Tanaka notices there is another chocolate with a note for Ōhta, and the chocolate is only from a local store, about one chocolate. Tanaka offers Ōhta to trade the chocolate, thinking this will make both of them happier, as Ōhta's chocolate does not have any fancy appearance. Ōhta accepts the chocolate because he was not expecting any from anyone, but they both start to wonder who actually sent these chocolates, as there is no name mentioned. They assume someone put it in Tanaka's bag when they were both away. These chocolates also have a message attached saying, "I am always watching you." Later, when one of Tanaka's friends comes to greet him, he instantly grabs him, thinking he is the culprit. Later, Tanaka and Ōhta put some thought into it and think maybe it was a Miyano. The difference between their chocolates makes sense because Tanaka is Miyano's master and she is always watching him. They go to ask Miyano, but see her giving chocolate to Echizen and screaming that she completely forgot to give or make any chocolates for Tanaka and Ōhta, which means both were wrong. Later, while thinking, Tanaka assumes maybe someone is trying to play with them, watching from the shadows and laughing, and decides not to accept the chocolate. But Ōhta suggests that they should respect the feelings of the giver and at least try some. When they open the chocolate box, it turns out to be some really good chocolates. When Ōhta asks Tanaka about his comments on the chocolate, Tanaka says that it is good chocolate. He says he likes chocolate, but he cannot afford to have a girlfriend as he is just an average guy. When Ōhta eats his own chocolate, he gets sad because it turns out to be dark chocolate, so Tanaka offers him a few of his own. It turns out to be really delicious, and Ōhta also realizes that these look like handmade chocolates. He feels like he has tasted something like this before, and according to his memory, this is the same sweet type which Shiraishi made. Ōhta suggests Tanaka set a reminder for March 14, so he can return the gift on that day. But while going home, they hear Shiraishi telling her friend that she had always been alone, so she never had anything to do on Feb 14, and she was too busy studying for exams that she totally forgot about everything else. They both realize again they were completely wrong and get shocked. Tanaka gets so depressed that now they know it's not Shiraishi and they just simply ate something from an unknown sender. Ōhta tries to calm down Tanaka, but while walking, suddenly a voice recorder drops from Tanaka's bag. Ōhta tries to calm Tanaka as he wants to report a police file about a crime, but Ōhta tells him they cannot conclude that it is connected to the chocolate. Just then, a little girl calls Tanaka from behind. Seeing the girl, Ōhta gets completely shocked and instantly covers Tanaka's eyes, telling him that it's his doppelganger. But the girl introduces herself as Rino, Tanaka's little sister, and she thanks Ōhta for taking care of her brother all the time. Tanaka and Rino both look too similar in face, hair, and everything, which causes Ōhta to be completely confused. Tanaka introduces Ōhta to his little sister, though he already mentioned Ōhta before to her, but Ōhta didn't know Tanaka's little sister looked so similar. When Rino asks them why they are so panicked, Tanaka shows her the voice recorder, which Rino instantly takes and says it's hers, which she thought had gotten lost. She explains she mostly uses this recorder when a teacher in class is hard to listen to because he talks too fast. Ōhta is surprised at how thoughtful Tanaka's sister is, but she tells him that her real goal is to make the teacher listen to himself so that he'll realize and correct his manner of speaking. Rino invites Ōhta and Tanaka to their house for a drink. Tanaka instantly agrees because if Ōhta finds out where he lives, Ōhta can carry him home every day just like an Ōhta taxi. So they go to their apartment, and when they enter, Ōhta suddenly sees a lot of shoes in front of the door. Rino tells him that she was actually repairing the shoes this morning and had to leave in the middle, which explains the shoes at the door. After Rino offers Ōhta some tea, Ōhta asks for sugar so he can make his tea a bit sweet, but Rino stares at him and tells him it's best to drink the tea black. She keeps asking him if the drink is good and keeps staring at him. After forcefully drinking the black tea, Ōhta notices that Tanaka's little sister is actually a lot better than Tanaka. While Tanaka just lays around and watches TV, his sister diligently works, even putting away the clothes. She does not acknowledge Tanaka's presence anymore, and Tanaka has to tell Rino where he is sitting. Later, Rino and Ōhta sit together and have a conversation. She asks Ōhta about Tanaka's daily life at school. Ōhta tells her that he takes really good care of Tanaka, and they remain together for the entire school day. He helps him eat lunch. If Tanaka gets late, he carries him to school, and they also go shopping after school. Hearing all of this, Rino instantly asks Ōhta to stop all this starting tomorrow and just leave Tanaka alone, as it's for his own sake. Ōhta thinks that Tanaka's sister is a little too cold. Meanwhile, Rino brings more black coffee to refill Ōhta's cup, but he clearly rejects it. Tanaka pulls the chocolate out of the bag and suggests that they should eat the leftover chocolate before he leaves. Ōhta also agrees. When talking about the chocolates, they both admit they don't know who put them in Tanaka's bag, but the chocolates are delicious, and they don't seem malicious, even though they don't know who the person is. Tanaka also tells his sister that the chocolates look so homemade and taste really good, which makes Rino satisfied and happy, and Tanaka notices this. Suddenly, Rino remembers that Ōhta just now said the chocolates were delicious. Ōhta tells her that he actually tasted one, and it was way better than he imagined, so he ended up eating more than half. This angers Rino, and she tells him to get out that instant. When Ōhta asks the reason, she tells him that the sun is setting and it's dangerous after dark, so he should head back. Tanaka decides to see Ōhta off to the station. While leaving, Ōhta thanks Rino for having him and for the coffee. Just when they leave and shut the door, Rino mutters to herself that she actually knows the coffee tasted awful, and Ōhta was just being polite about it. She understands very well what Ōhta was feeling, and finds it irritating that he keeps complimenting her. The real reason she invited him to their house was because she wanted to hear about her brother's school life, but all Ōhta did was talk about how well they get along, which irritates Rino. Meanwhile, Tanaka has no idea that his sister loves him. Suddenly, Rino remembers about the voice recorder, which he accidentally put in Tanaka's bag, and decides to listen to it, thinking she could hear a bit about his life at school. But her brother's voice is too quiet to catch, while Ōhta's voice is completely clear, which irritates Rino even more. Ōhta didn't do anything, but her disliking of him still grows. While walking, Tanaka tells Ōhta that he actually figured out who gave him the chocolate, and guessed it perfectly right that it was his little sister Rino. Tanaka thinks the chocolate she gave him was leftover from the one she made for her real person of interest, plus for tasting. Because while Tanaka complimented the chocolate, Rino seemed relieved. Ōhta also agrees that it all makes sense, but unfortunately these two are just a duo of knuckleheads. One day, Tanaka and Ōhta pass through a McDonald's, and Ōhta sees a strawberry sundae. He gets excited and asks Tanaka if they should stop there, but Tanaka tells him that he cannot calm down at fast food places because they serve all their food too fast. Even as a customer, he has to be fast when ordering, and it's a lot of pressure for Tanaka. Tanaka tells him that he is not very hungry, but suddenly, Tanaka sees a poster with a lucky set. Tanaka stops Ōhta from the back and tells him that he is starting to love the vacuum cleaner, which is another gadget to do his chores. So, they enter the restaurant, and the employee girl, a 20-year-old part-timer, instantly realizes that Tanaka is a languid person and expects he is definitely going to take a long time browsing the menu. But Tanaka instantly orders the lucky set with toy number 4. This surprises the girl, and she learns a lesson that she should not judge a person by their look. Unfortunately, the number 4 is sold out, and the girl offers him a choice between 1, 2, or 3 instead. But Tanaka instantly gets disappointed and only orders a strawberry shake. When the girl is about to hand him the strawberry shake, she instantly realizes that a disappointed and lazy person with this level of aura will definitely and accidentally spill his strawberry shake. So, she tells him that he does not need to pick it up from the counter, she will bring it to his seat. Tanaka remains disappointed because they did not have the number 4 and tries to drink the strawberry shake. But despite his effort, the shake does not move, and after one more try, Tanaka gets tired and is surprised at how Ōhta is always able to drink shakes with such struggle. The employee girl suddenly notices Tanaka and accidentally looks into his eyes, which scares her, and she thinks that he is glaring at her and may be holding a grudge because there were no more number 4 toys. But in reality, Tanaka was just trying to drink the shake really hard. Tanaka tells Ōhta that the employee girl is actually amazing because he, being so lazy, cannot even pass an interview, and she is amazing as she passed an interview and is also working really hard. Ōhta admires the hardworking girl, but the girl trembles and gets scared, thinking both of them are glaring at her and are too scary. Afterward, in the staff office, the girl is terrified. Actually, besides Tanaka, she gets even more terrified by Ōhta, thinking he is not a normal guy. She assumes he must be tied up with some shady organization, and they will definitely ambush her after work. She instantly runs to the manager and requests him to manage lucky set number 4 somehow because her life is on the line. Meanwhile, Tanaka sees that some people are chanting, some are napping in McDonald's, and there are also freelancers working. So he realizes that McDonald's is a generous place. It's like a paradise for people like him. The employees are kind, and they aren't scary. As long as he can finish his order, he can enjoy his time there. In the end, Tanaka also likes the place, and thinks even though he did not get lucky number 4, the place is pretty good. But drinking the shake remains a challenge for him till the end. After both come out of McDonald's and see the girl distributing pamphlets, she instantly gets scared of both of them. But Tanaka comes close to her and appreciates her for working really hard, and tells her that McDonald's is actually a really nice store. Ōhta also thanks her for the food, and both leave. After that, the girl realizes they are actually good people. One day, while Ōhta and Tanaka are passing through the hall, Shiraishi is looking at them from the shadows. Ever since that day, when they saw her real self, she cannot stop thinking about Tanaka, and she thinks maybe it's love. But she instantly gets disappointed, thinking that someone like her, unfashionable and awkward, cannot be in love. Shiraishi's friends notice her disappointment, and when they ask, she tells them that she might be in love, but her expression does not seem to match what she is claiming. Still, both her friends promise to support her. Later in class, Shiraishi thinks about how to approach Tanaka, because after that day, they both haven't talked to each other. Suddenly, she notices Ōhta is always with Tanaka, so she decides to observe Ōhta and find a trick to get closer to Tanaka. But just then, Ōhta takes Tanaka and lifts him by the waist, but Tanaka actually drops on the ground because he is sleeping, so Ōhta leaves him on his back like a piggyback ride. Shiraishi realizes that Ōhta's intimacy level is very high, and she assumes she should first start weightlifting so she can lift Tanaka. But she logically assumes Tanaka would never let someone unfamiliar carry him, so she decides to become friends first. But since she was alone all her past life, she doesn't have any experience on how to make friends. After giving it some thought, she decides to bump into Tanaka in the hallway, as this will give her a good chance to talk. So while Shiraishi waits for Tanaka so she can bump into him, Ōhta notices her and calls her, which instantly surprises Shiraishi. But seeing Ōhta, she thinks she can get some information about Tanaka out of him. She asks Ōhta if Tanaka has any girlfriend, which Ōhta instantly tells her that he does not. When she asks if Tanaka likes someone, Ōhta thinks about how Tanaka always treats him like his wife, and tells her that it's him whom Tanaka likes. Ōhta then tells her that there is no one because Tanaka thinks love is a pain. Shiraishi gets happy and thanks Ōhta, then instantly goes to find Tanaka. Meanwhile, Ōhta thinks that actually Shiraishi intends to teach Tanaka about love, as she is the committee chair, and she intends to incite those questions into Tanaka. But when Shiraishi reaches the classroom to see Tanaka, she finds Miyano talking to him there. She gets shocked because she had no idea that someone else was close to Tanaka. Just then, Miyano notices Shiraishi, and Shiraishi instantly runs away. Miyano catches up to her and tells Shiraishi she noticed her watching Tanaka. Shiraishi gets a little embarrassed. Just then, Miyano grabs Shiraishi's hand and takes her back to the class. Meanwhile, Shiraishi gets embarrassed that she hasn't prepared her heart for this sudden development. But Miyano instantly tells Tanaka that she has finally found an inspiring student who wants to be his apprentice too. Both Tanaka and Shiraishi get shocked, and Miyano reveals that she actually recognized Shiraishi's passionate gaze and that she admires Tanaka's listlessness, and they both can train together. Miyano requests Tanaka to make Shiraishi his student as well. That way, she will become the senior apprentice. In reality, that was Miyano's main goal from the start. But Tanaka tells Shiraishi that she can completely ignore what Miyano is saying, because Miyano herself wants to be a listless nurse, and she just started calling herself Tanaka's student. But in reality, she is just a self-proclaimed student. This actually shocks Miyano, and she becomes depressed. Shiraishi gathers up some courage and tells Tanaka that she does not want to be his student. In fact, she wants to be friends with him. But to her surprise, Tanaka tells her that he thought they were already friends. Shiraishi tells him she is happy that Tanaka already sees her as a friend. As a sign of their friendship, Miyano suggests they exchange contacts, which makes Shiraishi happy, but Tanaka tells her that he is okay with it, but there is only a 10% chance of him replying. When Shiraishi looks at her phone, she sees a message from Miyano, saying that she promised to support her from the shadows, and Shiraishi gets shocked that Miyano is so sensitive to others' feelings, and starts to think of Miyano as her master now. After a few days, Ōhta and Tanaka again visit McDonald's. Suddenly, Ōhta realizes that he actually forgot his phone at school, so he goes to pick it up and asks Tanaka to wait there. Tanaka tells him that he can go very freely, and he will protect his chips no matter what happens. He also says that he has already become one with his seat. Even if a natural disaster hits, he will not give up his place. Meanwhile, a middle school girl looks for an empty seat. Suddenly, she sees some empty space, but suddenly, she notices Tanaka lazing on the sofa. The girl gets panicked, but doesn't say anything. Suddenly, Rino appears and greets her brother Tanaka. The girl instantly covers Rino's eyes and tells her not to look because it's his doppelganger. The girl's reaction instantly reminds Rino of Ōhta and makes her feel kind of annoyed. The girl also doesn't realize that Rino just called Tanaka her brother. Meanwhile, Tanaka thinks that if Rino is here, maybe this place is his home. After that, Rino introduces the girl as Saya, her classmate, and also introduces Saya to her brother. Saya greets Tanaka, mouth barely moving, while Rino acts as her loudspeaker and tells Tanaka what Saya is saying. introducing herself to him. Rino explains that the girl's name is Saya and she's actually a shy person. Rino gets happy, thinking it's her lucky day that she was able to meet her brother here, and for some reason, Ōhta isn't here to get in her way. Saya gets too nervous, thinking she needs to break the silence or find a good topic to discuss. But Rino tells her she does not need to push herself, because Tanaka would actually be grateful if she left him alone. After seeing Tanaka, Saya gets impressed and tells Rino that her brother is thin and pale and really good looking, just like a prince. She also says she actually has a brother who is really well built and kind of like a gorilla. Tanaka tells her that it is good to have a gorilla brother so he can protect her. Rino instantly cheers Tanaka by telling him that even if he is a shrimp with zero muscles and dull movement, a prince and only name, she will definitely rely on him. Saya tries to read Tanaka's expression and assumes he's in a bad mood, thinking they are boring. But actually, today Tanaka got the mini vacuum cleaner he tried to get the last time, and Rino asks him why he looks in such a good mood. Tanaka gets happy, and Saya is surprised that she could actually read his mind. Rino gets up to order her drink and leaves Tanaka and Saya alone for a moment. Both don't have any topic to talk about, so Tanaka asks how much of a gorilla her elder brother resembles, and on a scale from 1 to 5, Saya tells him it's about 3, which means her brother is actually of average gorilla size. Tanaka admits to her that he thinks of himself as lazy and listless, but also feels guilty, because if his little sister gets into trouble, maybe he won't be able to do anything to help her. He feels pathetic and bad about himself, but since that's the fact, he feels sorry for Rino for having a brother like him. But Saya tells him that actually, Rino often talks about him at school, and she seems really happy when she talks about him and she loves him. Tanaka instantly feels relieved and says that this means he can continue being lazy with confidence. Meanwhile, the employee thinks of Rino as Tanaka's duplicate and thinks he just keeps coming back. Just then, Ōhta comes back, and when he sees Saya sitting with Tanaka, it is revealed that Ōhta is Saya's older brother. Tanaka gets instantly shocked and tells Saya that, on average, her brother is only about number 3 type gorilla, but he is reliable. Just then, Rino appears, sees Ōhta, and gets too irritated, telling everyone that it's time for dinner so everyone should dismiss. While going home, Ōhta realizes from Saya's expression that she looks happy, and Saya is also impressed that her older brother is like Rino's older brother. Meanwhile, at home, Rino thinks about Ōhta and Saya because she never thought her best friend was her rival's little sister.